All right. Good evening. Trying a new camera, new microphone, all new things. Welcome. And just take a moment to find your way to your mat. If you have any props available to you, maybe have a strap or belt handy. And as you find a comfortable seated position, go ahead and just begin to center in. Begin to turn your attention inward, allowing your eyes to close, and breath to deepen, letting your shoulders and belly soften. Maybe you let your chin drop slightly in towards your chest, allowing the crown of your head to rise up a little bit more towards the sky. And if you haven't already, let's go ahead and activate the Ujjayi breath or the victory breath. So you'll be breathing in and out through the nose. And you're gonna take your breath in as if you were sipping through a straw. So you'll begin to feel and hear the sound of the air as it moves past the back of your throat. Just a few more breaths here, maybe setting an intention for your class. And on your next inhale, go ahead and gently allow your eyes to open. We're going to take our fingers, cross them all the way to the webbing, pressing the hands forward, drawing the elbows in towards another. Inhale up, pressing the palms up towards the ceiling, drawing your arms back towards parallel with your ears. Maybe they're there tonight, maybe they're not. Wherever you are is okay. Continue to take nice, deep breaths. And on your exhale, go ahead and release, switching the cross of the legs. And go ahead and also switch the cross of your hands. So the other thumb is on top now. Probably feels a little bit awkward. Pressing the hands forward, drawing the elbows together. And then here, let's go ahead and draw our shoulder blades back, squeezing them together on our back. And on an inhale, pressing the hands up. And connecting with the breath. And on your next exhale, go ahead and release. And turn the music back up just a little bit. Trying a new playlist tonight, we'll see how it goes. So now go ahead and draw your legs out long. And if you can, maybe scoop just a little bit of flesh out from under your sit bones. See if you can get a little bit more grounding, a little more length in the spine. From here, drawing the belly button in and up, activating the core. Inhaling, arms up, palms facing one another. Exhale, beginning to fold forward. And keeping a nice straight spine, just allow your hands to fall wherever they do along your legs. Drawing the crown of the head forward, kind of diagonally, right in line with the spine. And breathing into the back of the legs. Dandasana, or staff pose. if you begin to find after a couple breaths that there's a little more opening, maybe you begin to walk your hands forward. And for the last few breaths here, you can go ahead and release the head and neck, allowing the forehead to bow towards the legs. If you feel any tugging at the back of the knees, go ahead and keep a micro bend in your legs. You should feel this stretch nicely in the larger muscles along the back of your leg. On your next inhale, beginning to press up, we're going to go ahead and take our legs nice and wide, flexing the feet strongly, drawing those toes back towards your body. If you adjusted, maybe again removing a little bit of flesh from under your sit bones, finding a nice rounded seat. And then on an inhale, drawing the arms up. Camera's a little wonky. And then go ahead and twist your whole upper body towards that right leg. And on an exhale, beginning to fold over your right leg. Again, let's just go ahead and start with a nice straight spine. Keeping the crown of the head right in line with the neck. Just breathing here. And for your next few breaths, go ahead and begin to release in the head and neck, allowing your forehead to fall towards your thigh. Beautiful work. On your next inhale, beginning to press up to center, drawing the arms up, lengthening the spine, twisting that whole front body towards the left, and on an exhale, folding over the left leg. Connecting with the breath here, making sure that right hip remains rooted to your mat. Continuing a nice flex in the feet, continuing to draw those toes back towards your body. Maybe you press out through the heels. And for the last couple breaths, beginning to release in the head and neck. On your next inhale, beginning to walk back up to center. Then we're going to go ahead and do this hip opener, Agni Stambhasana, or fire log pose. If you feel any tweaking in your knees, go ahead and release out of it and just breathe through the next couple minutes. But to give it a try, go ahead and bring your shin parallel to the front of the mat, flexing that bottom foot. I'm starting with my right foot. And then go ahead and take that left leg. You're going to place the foot on top. Again, keeping a nice flex also in the top foot. And you'll probably have a gap here. My hips don't tend to be super open, but as you begin to work through it, or maybe you are already very flexible, eventually those shins will rest together. You probably feel a pretty deep stretch in the back of the hips. If you do, just breathing here. If you feel you need to go a little deeper, you can bring your hands in front and begin to walk your hands forward. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. On your next inhale, beginning to press up, gently releasing that left leg and setting up for the other side. So bringing that left shin parallel to the front of the mat. Right foot right above the knee, right on top of the other shin. Again, flexing both feet, nice and strong. You may find that one hip is more open than the other. That one's a little tighter. Just taking a few moments to breathe into the hips here. Again, maybe you begin to walk forward. Maybe stay sitting straight. With this breath, be sure to relax in the jaw, relax around your eyes. Just letting your face completely relax so we can really breathe in and release some of this tension in our hips. We don't want to just transfer it to another spot in our body. On your next inhale, beginning to press up and gently releasing the legs. Go ahead and make your way onto your hands and knees. And taking a moment to really stack the joints. So finding your wrists right under your shoulders, knees right under hips, and your knees will also be about hips distance apart. On an inhale, go ahead and draw the crown of your head and tailbone up into cow. Exhale, pressing the spine up and back into cat. And just taking this for a few breaths. Enjoying your own pace, waking up the spine. As you begin to feel warm, maybe you begin to take a little intuitive flow. So you might move your shoulders from side to side. Maybe you come a little bit forward and backwards. Just seeing if you can find any spots where you might be holding tension in your back. And if you do find an extra tight spot, go ahead and pause and breathe into that spot. Just having fun with it. Warming up the body. A few more breaths. Maybe you add the neck in. And on your next inhale, go ahead and make your way back to neutral spine. Tucking those back toes under. And pressing your hips up and back, Adho Mukha Savasana or down dog. And for our first down dog, let's go ahead and walk the dog out or bend one knee and then the other. Pressing strongly into all 10 fingers, begin to press both heels towards the mat, rolling your shoulders out and your armpits in towards your ears. On your next inhale, gazing forward and beginning to walk your feet to your hands. And then exhale, releasing down into your forward fold. Feel free to keep a nice bend in your knees. Tucking that tailbone, beginning to roll up, one vertebra at a time. Allowing your head to come up last. At the top, inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, pressing into the shins. And exhale, placing the hands stepping back into high plank. Let's go ahead and take one inhale at the top of the high plank. And for the first one, with your exhale, dropping your knees, then chest, then chin, squeezing those elbows in towards the side. Inhaling chest and head up, baby cobra. And on an exhale, shifting your hips back, child's pose. Go ahead and just take a couple breaths here in child's pose. I'm going to switch cameras real quick. This is not working. And feel free to come to this pose. We're going to start doing a few vinyasas now, so picking up the pace. But if at any time you need a break, feel free to come back to child's pose. Inhale, coming forward onto all fours, tucking the toes back. Exhale, pressing the hips back into down dog. On an inhale, gazing forward and hopping or walking your feet to your hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhaling up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, place hands, step back into high plank. Pressing through the heels, one inhale at the top of the high plank. And on an exhale, going straight down, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, baby cobra, or all the way into up dog. And exhale, back, down dog. One more time, just like that. Inhale, bending the knees, floating or walking your feet to your hands. Exhaling into the fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhaling up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, placing the hands, stepping or hopping back into high plank. One inhale at the top of the high plank. And exhale, coming down, chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. And exhale, back, down dog. Beautiful work. We're going to take a couple breaths here, and then we're going to add on. On your next inhale, stepping that right foot in towards center, left foot up, three-legged dog. And then bending at the knee, beginning to open the hip up to the side. Maybe you peek out under that left armpit. On your next inhale, coming back to center, three-legged dog. Exhale, stepping that foot through towards the hands, low lunge. Now you might want to shimmy that front and back foot a little bit wider apart on the mat so you're not on a tight rope. And on your next inhale, rising up into crescent. Pressing out through that back heel. Pressing strongly into all four corners of that front left foot. Maybe you bend the elbows, opening the chest, gazing up. Squeezing those thighs towards midline. Inhale, raising the arms back up. Then you're going to spin that right heel onto the mat, opening the arms up into warrior one. So go ahead and take a peek down. Sorry, warrior two. Go ahead and take a peek down at your big toe. Make sure you can see your big toe. If not, go ahead and draw that knee back a little more. Also make sure that your knee's not coming forward over the ankle, but is tracking back over it. Just a couple more breaths here, building that fire. Go ahead and drop that back hand to the back thigh, flipping the front palm up and bringing it up and back, extended warrior. Continuing to press firmly into both feet, squeezing the glutes. Finding your breath here, beginning to build some heat. On your next inhale, coming back forward through warrior two. And go ahead and bring your hands and interlace them behind your back. Beginning to draw the chest forward. You may end here. You may begin to drop that shoulder down in front of the knee. Maybe you begin to lift your hands up towards the sky. Humble warrior. On your next inhale, rising back up, warrior two. And exhale, placing the hands, shifting that back heel up off the mat and stepping back into down dog. Connecting with the breath here. On your next inhale, drawing the right leg up. Exhale, stepping it through. And once you find your nice strong base, beginning to rise up into crescent. For crescent, that back heel's off the mat. Again, peek down, see that you can see your front big toe. Maybe you begin to open the elbows, squeezing the thighs to midline. Beautiful work. Using that breath to build fire, to build discipline. On your next inhale, rising the arms back up, swiveling that back heel to the mat, and opening the hands, warrior two. Drawing those hips open, taking a peek down. Again, seeing that you can see that front big toe. Making sure your knee is stacked over your ankle. A couple more deep breaths here. Beautiful work. You've got this. You're powerful. Go ahead and drop that back hand to the thigh. Inhaling up, extended warrior, gazing towards the sky. Reaching out through those fingertips, nice and strong. Just a couple breaths here. Inhale, coming forward and clasping your hands behind your back, beginning to draw that chest forward. Maybe you're about here today. Maybe you want to continue to drop that shoulder right in front of the knee. Beginning to draw the arms up, humble warrior. Feeling the fire in those legs, pressing strongly. Inhaling up into warrior two. And with an exhale, framing that front foot, swiveling that back heel off the mat, and stepping back, down dog. Maybe you take a little break here in down dog. Maybe you come down to child's pose, onto your knees. But just taking a moment to reconnect with the breath here. We're going to go ahead and run through that vinyasa one more time, but a little bit quicker. We're not going to hold the poses so long. Inhaling that right leg up. Exhale, stepping through. Inhaling up into crescent. Exhaling. Inhale, open into warrior two. Exhale. Inhale, up, extended warrior. And exhaling. Inhaling, clasping the hands. Dropping down into humble warrior. Exhale. Inhaling back up. Exhale, placing the hands and stepping back. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step through. Inhale, up into crescent. And exhaling here. Inhale, opening up, warrior two. And exhale. Inhale, extended warrior. And exhale. Inhale, clasping the hands. Humble warrior. Exhale here. Inhaling back up into warrior two. Exhale, placing the hands and stepping back. Inhale, bending deeply in the knees, gazing forward, and hopping or walking your feet to your hands. Exhale on the forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhaling up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, placing the hands and stepping back into high plank. Taking an inhale at the top of the plank. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling baby cobra or up dog. And exhale, hips back, child's pose. Breathing out through the mouth here, maybe taking a sigh. As we've built some heat, igniting the fire within ourselves. The fire that gives us the determination to bring our desires to reality. And on your next inhale, coming back forward into your hands and knees, tucking those toes, pressing the hips up and back, down dog, or Adho Mukha Savasana. Breathing here, rolling those armpits in towards the ears, spreading across the back, really pressing those hips up and back, maybe taking a micro bend in the knees. We're going to go through one more vinyasa, and then we're going to come back down to the ground. So inhale, bending the knees and gazing forward. Exhale, floating or walking your feet to your hands. Now I want you to bring from forward fold, go ahead and bring the inset steps of your foot to touching. Then from here, we're going to begin to sit our hips back, bringing the chest up into chair pose. I want you to tuck that belly button in. Nice strong core. Gazing down at your toes. Make sure you can see your big toes. If you can't, go ahead and shift those hips back further. On your next inhale, pressing into the feet, rising up. Exhale, hands to heart. We got one more chair pose coming. So from standing, go ahead and activate those thighs by drawing those kneecaps up towards your belly. Go ahead and squeeze in the glutes, drawing the belly button up and in. Nice strong base. Inhale up. Exhale, sitting back into chair. Bringing your hands to heart center. Going to go ahead and take that right elbow and hook it over the left knee. Gazing down. See that one knee is not flailing forward. Try and keep them right in line with each other. Maybe you begin pressing into the hands, opening through the chest. Inhale, center. Exhale, hooking that left elbow over the right knee. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, folding over your legs. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, placing the hands and stepping back into high plank. You guys are doing so beautifully. Keep that breath nice and strong. One more inhale here at the top of the plank. Exhale, drawing the elbows in, chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. And exhale back, Balasana or child's pose. Forehead coming towards the mat, belly resting on the thighs. Relaxing the shoulders. And with your next inhale, as you come forward onto the hands and knees, you're going to make your way all the way onto your back. Go ahead and keep your knees bent, bringing the soles of the feet to the mat, beginning to walk your heels back as close as you can towards your body. If you happen to have a block, you can grab that. If you don't, it's all right. You can do this anyway. If you have a block, go ahead and place it between your thighs. And you're gonna, either way, whether you have a block or not, you're gonna start squeezing your thighs towards one another very strongly. And you're gonna squeeze them so much that if I were to come and try and grab the block or the imaginary block, I wouldn't be able to remove it. So from here, from these activated legs, I want you to begin to press in to all four corners of the feet, rolling the spine up off the ground. From here, you might begin to roll your shoulder blades together under your back, continuing to press up. Maybe you can clasp your hands behind your back, continuing to squeeze those thighs together, breathing here in bridge pose. Feeling a nice heart opening as your chest opens towards the sky. If you've tucked your shoulders under, go ahead and unclasp your hands, release them, and begin to roll down one vertebra at a time, allowing your hips to come down last. If you have the block, go ahead and leave the block there. We're going to come up one more time. So as you're ready, beginning to press into the feet, squeezing the thighs, squeezing the glutes, rolling those shoulders under, pressing up, breathing into the front body. Two more nice deep breaths here. And at the end of your second exhale, go ahead and begin to remove your shoulders from under your back and rolling your spine down. When your whole spine reaches the mat, go ahead and bring your knees up towards your chest and just giving them a little hug. A nice counter pose for the back bend we just did. Maybe you rock back and forth. Maybe you make little circles. And go ahead and release your feet Back to the mat. We're going to open the knees wide, Baddha Konasana or bound angle. The soles of your feet come together. Maybe you place your hands on your belly. And go ahead and close your eyes for a moment here. Just allowing gravity to do the work. Taking a moment to scan your body. Just observing how it feels. If you notice any places of pain or tension, just taking an extra breath into that spot and imagining it releasing just a little bit more. Letting a little bit more of that tension, that pain go right here, right now on your mat. And go ahead and place your hands behind your thighs, drawing the knees up to center. Taking that left ankle, crossing it over the right knee. And beginning to draw that right foot up off the mat. Figure 4. Maybe you grab behind the thigh. Maybe you grab in front of the shin, just so long as your shoulders can come back to the mat and your tailbone or your sacrum here is resting against the mat. If not, then you can let up a little bit. Make sure you're keeping that top foot nice and flexed, keeping the stretch in the hip and out of the knee joint. We really want to protect our knees while we practice. And if you begin to find, as we're holding this pose, a little bit of release, maybe you want to draw in a little bit more. Playing with that edge, finding that edge. It shouldn't be painful, but we definitely want to stretch ourselves just a little bit more than when we arrived. And gently releasing. Go ahead and switch the cross of the legs. Inhaling that left foot up. Maybe you grab behind the thigh, maybe in front of the shin. Again, as we take a few moments here, double check in that you're not holding any tension in your jaw. So maybe move your lower jaw back and forth. Our hips are often connected with our jaw. Our hips are where we carry a lot of our stored emotion, our past trauma. So we just want to let that go. Let that emotional baggage go. Relax around the eyes. If you feel any scrunching in your forehead, see if you can smooth it out. And exhale, release. We're going to go ahead and take our last couple poses on our way to Shavasana. So crossing that right leg back over the left. We're going to drop both knees over to the, oh my gosh, did I do it wrong? Sorry, left leg over right, dropping both knees over to the right. And if it doesn't kink your neck, maybe you want to look back over your back shoulder. If not, you can keep gazing the same direction as your knees. Getting a nice spinal twist here, beginning to unwind. Twists are a great way to kind of cleanse our internal organs. Squeezes them out. It's great for digestion. On your next inhale, bringing your knees up through center, switching across the legs, and dropping both knees over to the left. Maybe you gaze out over your right shoulder. Maybe you stay looking towards your knees. As long as there's no kinking in the neck, do what feels good for you. This is your body, this is your practice. On your next inhale, bringing those knees back up through center, uncrossing the legs. And maybe we'll take just one final pose, happy baby. So you can grab either the outside edges of your feet, or you can take your pointer and middle finger and wrap them around your big toes. Beginning to press the soles of your feet up towards the sky, drawing your knees down in towards your armpits. And as you press your feet up into your hands and your hands down into your feet, you should feel a nice spreading across the lower back. Gently release. Go ahead and draw your legs out long. Feet falling outward, arms out along your sides for Shavasana or final resting position. I'm going to take the music down a notch. Beginning to allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm, releasing any control, feeling your body get heavy, while your organs begin to just float like water in your belly and chest cavity. Your hips relax, your feet and legs relax. Your shoulders and arms relaxed. Your forehead begins to soften. Your tongue gently resting in your mouth. Any tension in your cheeks releases. Your neck and head are completely relaxed. With your next inhale, beginning to breathe a little deeper, bringing awareness back into the body, into the present moment. Maybe you begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe you stretch your arms out long over your head. And as you're ready, beginning to bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet back to the mat. Go ahead and roll onto your side into fetal position. Taking a couple of breaths here. In this original position, our first yoga pose in coming onto this planet. And as you're ready, slowly beginning to press up to seated, allowing your head and neck to come up last. And as we meet back in seated, go ahead and bring the palms of your hands together, feeling the heat where they meet, pressing the base of the thumbs into the chest, into your sternum. Thank you for meeting me here, meeting yourself here. Namaste. Oh, and the word for today, for anyone watching now or later, is fire. Thank you so much for practicing.